Alright, Scraft fans, it is actually... Oh, no, wait, that isn't doing anything. Let me try that. Hello, Scraft fans. This is actually the final. We are hopefully ready to start. The first map is going to be Submarine. Looks like it's going to be Zerg v Zerg. Hopefully all of my equipment is actually working. Hopefully this is recording. I don't know. We'll find out. Alright, ZVZ on Submarine. Icredd versus Coop. GLHF, all very polite. Kupermeister is off with the Scouting Overlord from the bottom right corner of Submarine. And we're going to see, I imagine, very similar stuff happening. I think we're going to get a bit of a sort of mirror setup here. I would be surprised if anybody does anything crazy in the first game. You can see Overlord timings are identical. Nobody's gone 12 pool or anything gnarly like that. So it's just going to be, you would guess, as the Overlords come out, the third worker's going to start, and you would expect the worker to come down to here to build the hatchery, but Coop's gone for the spawning pool. And what? This is gas first from Callum? Oh, interesting. So, like generally, the gas first into pool means that you're going for a speed push. To do that before the hatchery, though, is pretty unusual. It's more common to see hatchery gas pool. So gas pull hatch, isn't a build that I know, but we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Coop on the other side of the map, is saving up larvae, isn't turning these into workers. So when this pool finishes, he's going to have 3 larvae ready to turn into 6lings. The big question is, does he send workers with it or not? So there's the 6lings building. Is he going to start a queen as well? He has just about got money for that, so be surprised if a queen doesn't start. There it is. Gas is finished up, no workers in it just yet. On the other side of the map, the pool has finished for Icredd, but there aren't yet any lings in production. So he has got the queen in production, and the queen should be out by the time that the lings get there. These lings, though, are not crossing the map, so I don't know about this decision. If you've gone pool first, you need to get value from it, because that pool first has delayed your hatchery, it's delayed your gas, it's delayed everything. So you really do need to get up in your opponent's face with those as quickly as you can. Callum, of course, knows that these are coming, knows how many there are, knows that his queen is going to be out on time. He's going to put down the Benling nest. Wouldn't be surprised to see a second queen starting. He reckons he's going to be able to hold this without any crawlers. His own... that's a full turnaround. I don't like it. I don't like that at all. Really you want these lings, your 6lings, doing work for you by killing workers. 6lings will kill a queen if you get a full surround on it. So that would have been the much preferable outcome here, to get in and actually snipe the first queen. And arguably, I would swap my 6lings for that first queen, because losing a queen that early on really does slow things down for you. This Overlord is actually, he's going to get it. He's going to get the Overlord. No, he isn't. Overlord gets out, and that's pretty close. With the 2 queens here, I don't think they can get across to it before it can get into the safety zone. What's happening over here? This Overlord is definitely toast. There is no way out for this fella. Plenty of queens on the map here to take care of that. And Icredd momentarily supply blocked. Let's have a quick look at the army supply. It is 18 to 13. So, with defender's advantage, it's very unlikely. Oh my goodness, if he loses another Overlord, that is actually pretty nasty. Supply blocked again, and that's 200 minerals that you can do without losing. This little force here with the Benlings could start to get nasty, but it's the classic sort of Benling nest Evo block at the front. Normally you put a queen in the wall, though. You've got to have a queen in the wall, not lings, because Benlings roll into this and all of those lings die. Queens, on the other hand, can take a Benling to the face and be okay. So Coop does need to rearrange this a bit. When the Benlings come in here, it's gonna turn bad. It's gonna turn bad fast. The queens need to be blocking, and he needs to be focus firing these Benlings. So I don't know, a bit dubious positioning, and now he's got a base full of lings. 10 lings in production though, no spines going down, and this queen up on the high ground not coming down to help out either. Generally what you do, or one of the things you can do, if you pull some workers, surround your queen with your own workers to buffer, not with your workers attacking, just workers on a whole command surrounding your own queen. It just stops the lings getting to them. It does look like he's going to clean this up, but he has lost a lot of workers and a fair number of lings as well. Let's have a quick look at what's happened. So it's 10 workers that he's lost, but he is still ahead in workers because Callum has just been holding down the Z button this whole time and isn't actually building workers of his own. Only now a couple of workers in production to level things up. So after all of that, really, it's hard to say who's got an advantage. There was quite a bit of to and fro. Kupermeister did also lose a couple of queens there. If we look at the resources lost though, it's pretty even, to be honest. It's pretty even. So it's a bit of a reset really. Let's have a look at the tech that's going on. Evo chamber coming down much later for Icredd. He has been busy. Neither player with a lair yet, nor any sign of building it. There is a spine crawler going to come down to help at the front door, and a roach warren finally coming down as well. Over here for Coop, only, not exactly droning up hard. There are idle larvae to be had here. There's a bit of money in the bank, so it needs to get on top of that production. You need to start replacing those lost workers as soon as possible. We're approaching the 6-minute mark, and neither player has got a third yet, which is pretty freaky. So lair is it is going to be Coop that goes for the lair first. The roach warren, on the other hand, on the other side of the map, could make big changes here. Seriously, is Callum going to lose another overlord here? Is she going to get it? Last one? Yeah, it does. And that's pretty unpleasant. With the creep coming forward as well, this guy could quickly find himself in trouble if Coop moves one of his overlords forward to give sight of that as well. No second gas yet for Kupermeister. Callum just now dropping the second gas, and slightly better saturation here as well. Oh no, tell a lie. Must have been some more drones come out since the last time I looked. So really what I want to see is both of these players need to drop thirds desperately. 6.5 minutes in, like normally as a Zerg player, you're dropping your third at what, like the 4-minute mark, 3.5 minute mark, sometime about there. Anything beyond that is definitely late. So, even with a bit of back and forth, you still need to get those extra hatcheries done. You've got to have the hatches to build the workers. If you don't have the extra hatch, you don't have the larva, you're never really going to get your economy flying. And that is when Zerg becomes dangerous, once the economy is going ballistic, once you're up at around the 80 drones mark. That's when you're in business. 27 workers, 38 workers, that isn't going to cut it, but it is a 10 worker advantage for Coop. Let's have a quick look at the income tab, and you can kind of see the difference there. It's pretty reasonable gas income difference. What's he going to spend the gas on though? A little unclear. Has got the Hydra Den, and I don't know, if you're going to be against roaches, Hydras are fine, but you do need your own roaches in front to buffer as well. I'd like to see these queens come forward and chase off the overlords. He's got his own overlord in position. He has got 3 queens there on the low ground, so he could easily just come out and kill this. He could come down and kill this one as well, reasonably safely. He's got enough of his own lings to buffer. Yeah, so a little bit of a poke. This is quite a lot of roaches coming. And Coop knows that it's here, but does he have enough to see it off? I think the short answer is no. He's going to have to bring the 2 queens down from the high ground. If you get a full surround on this with the queens firing as well, that would be helpful, but you need to stop the roaches from kiting like that. These are a lot of damaged roaches, so the queens can come forward here and do a bit of work. I'd love to see a couple of spines come down as well, and I'd love to see the queens on the high ground come down. There's 24 lings in production, but not yet any hydras. These lings, this is a slightly awkward engage, but I think he's going to be able to clean this up. He should be able to, but he needs some hydras to add a bit of firepower to this as well. I think he's going to take an awful lot of losses here. There's still roaches coming across the map from Callum. Doesn't look like he's going to slow down on that front. There's 3 hatchery production here happening, but you know, with only 1 queen in production, Coop has got enough money to turn that into 3 queens. His own roaches are coming out. A Ravager wouldn't go astray here, but you know, taking the time out to build it is always a tricky business. Too many of these roaches are not dying. There has to be focus fire here, and this, you know, look, this rally point is grim. Walking past, losing stuff for free. I think Callum's just going to take this. I think Cooper needed to be quicker with the pull. When this stuff first showed up, he needed the queens in location, and he needed to recognise that he was going to need some spines and stuff to back this up as well. There it is. That's the first game. So Icredd gets 1 on the map. GG.